I want to thank my 6th graders again for bringing this amazing pellet. I'm not quite sure it's an owl pellet because of the size and the size of the bones in it. So I'll have to do a little bit more investigating. Certainly if it's an owl, it's a big one because the bones in here are just unbelievably large. You'll notice I have rubber gloves on. We do not use gloves in class because all of the pellets that I buy for you to dissect have been sterilized. If you're dealing with a wild pellet, something that you found outside, I would definitely wear gloves. Look at the size of some of these bones. These are crazy. Definitely looks like the joint, the leg bone connecting either at the knee or the hip of a creature, but it looks like a fairly large creature. I don't think I'm going to find a skull in here. Looks like we have a scapula. Look at the size of these bones. This is unbelievable. I'm not even sure what some of these are, and I will have to, once I get them out of the pellet, I'm going to have to clean them up. See if I can get a better look. We are definitely looking at something large. I'd love to find a skull in here. That would certainly help with identification. Oh, tufts of fur. The color of the fur leads me to believe it might be a rat, because a chipmunk wouldn't have such gray fur. Whoa, there's another big long bone. It looks like it might be another creature. Yeah, it looks like it's more than one creature. Whatever it is has these incredibly large, heavyweight bones. And then we have this intact, much smaller, much lighter. Oh my goodness. Some of these bones are massive. So far, no skull. The long, more narrow part of the bone on many of them has been broken off, and we've been left with the joint, which is the most heavy-duty part of the bone. In any of the long bones, be the thickest. Oh, it looks like we might have a tooth here. Quite an amazing discovery right on our playground. Still no sign of a skull. That's too bad. Skulls are usually the best for identifying because you have the tooth pattern, the type of the tooth, how many there are, the sutures in the skull. All really helpful for identification. A lot of these bones are really broken. And the bulk of what I've got to identify with, oh, whoa, there's a vertebrae. Look at the size of that one. That's beautiful. So I'll take some measurements on this, clean them up, and get back to you. After a quick look, I suspect that this is not from an owl because very few of the bones are intact. Most of them have been broken apart. And as far as what the creature is, I need to clean everything up, but this is a vertebrae. This is substantially larger than anything we found in a mole, vole, pocket gopher. But you look at that bone, see how it's broken apart? Another hint at what the creature might be are the tufts of fur. So we have fur that is two-tone. It's darker toward the body and then it's lighter. We also have this little tuft right here that's very reddish brown. And that's kind of interesting. That will help us identify what the creature is, I hope. So let me clean all this up and then get back to it. So I've sorted out the bones. And I have some suspicions, but I certainly need to do a little bit more research before I can tell you what you found. After spending some time with the bones, I narrowed it down to squirrel or rabbit. Similar sized skeletons. But I'm leaning toward actually rabbit. And the reason I'm leaning toward a rabbit is because of the size of the rib bones. That just seems too large to be from a squirrel. Now, as far as the predator is concerned, I doubt it's an owl. I'm pretty confident it is our red-tailed hawk that tends to visit us in the playground. And the evidence I would use would be these bones that have been completely ripped apart and shattered or splintered. Owls swallow their prey whole. This creature was clearly not swallowed whole. There's not a single long bone in the pellet that hasn't been shattered. So there you have it. I believe our red-tailed hawk visitor caught and ate a rabbit. And again, I want to thank you for bringing this amazing treasure to me. It was a lot of fun. And if I find any more information, I definitely will update you. Have a good one.